Do we ever have to do that? What is this, 7 episodes in?
I don't know. Is it one of those things like on Instagram where it's like, hi, for all my new followers, here to reintroduce myself. Yes.
So for all our new followers who also became invested in Suits after season 1, episode 7, as I did, welcome. I'm Maggie.
It's so funny. Hang on, when they talk about like, let me reintroduce myself. I think like of the song like, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Maggie. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that'll work.
That's it.
That'll work. All right.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters in law. We're watching Suits 1 episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, 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 only Suits fans.
This is season 1, episode 7, Play the Man. More than halfway through with season 1.
I can't believe it. I'm into it now.
I know you are.
Like, I mean, this episode in particular was for me a real moment.
Okay. Wait, should we get to the hard question now? At the beginning?
I have it in my brief. I think the question that you have, are you going to ask me about Michael? Mike?
Go ahead. Yeah, I am. I'll let you tell your brief.
I was so excited after watching this episode that I wrote my brief immediately. I wrote it immediately. I have no idea if it connects to things like if I would like take a step back.
Right.
But would you like to hear my brief, Amanda?
Dying to hear it because I know that you spent a lot of time on it.
Yes.
And I can't wait.
Love may make the world go round, but it can also stop a lawyer in his tracks and have him scrambling to find his way toward a win. In this episode, while Harvey is waxing poetic about not being naive and falling for traps, he steps right into a merger gone hostile with a former and current fling on opposing counsel. And Michael has trouble playing pretend until he gets a little help from his childhood friend turned love interest, Jenny. But when he has to go up against Rachel and make her cry, his sweetheart can't do it. I will also make the case that Michael is earning the title of Mike throughout the arc of this episode, most notably at the end when he realizes he does not need to be a mini Harvey, that he can stand in his own charm and empathetic ways and still possibly find a way in this man-eat-man world.
Dang!
This
is so good.
I did the man-eat-man. I know it's like dog-eat-dog, but I did man-eat-man because the episode is Play the Man.
Yeah. No, I see what you did there.
Thank you.
That was so good.
Thanks.
Maggie, I don't have something like that. And I just...
Are you typing your brief right now?
I'm quickly like...
yeah, that's actually what my brief is. That's
Can
so weird.
Can you repeat that like one more time just so I can catch the notes?
Yeah.
So I have kind of had a little bit of a busy week, and I watched this, several mornings ago, because sometimes I do like schoolwork in the morning, but I'll take a little Suits break and watch it while I'm like drinking coffee.
Oh, it's a good coffee show.
It's a good coffee show. And so I took all the notes. I just didn't write the brief. I was like, I'll come back. Also, I know the show.
Right.
And then you showed up tonight.
And I said, I'm ready. I'm so ready.
And you waited for 30 minutes for me to write a brief while we kept getting distracted. And I have 4 lines.
Good.
So I'm just
That's very brief.
It is a brief. I'm going to see if I can finish it up, though.
Okay.
There's no way I'll ever hold a candle to that brief, though.
Oh, Amanda.
That may be the best brief of the season so far.
You think so?
If we're giving out the briefies.
Is it because the briefies?
Those are the names of our awards for, like...
Yeah.
Maybe we probably have to go back and listen to the briefs.
From the Now that we know
that a briefie is up for grabs.
For the season finale, we can officially assign a briefie.
Yeah. So this is
Although I will say I always feel like your briefs are very well written, very thought out, very good summaries of the actual episode.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I am not that tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to let you down.
Oh, nope.
Okay. Not up for a briefie tonight. All right. Okay. Episode 7 Minutes in Heaven. Am I right? Harvey goes up against a Harvard alum and reunites and reignites his connection with Scotty. They're busy merging hotels and merging bodies. Meanwhile, Mike also goes up against a Harvard alum that is none the wiser that Mike never went there in his first mock trial. He also reunites and reignites with Jenny as he also finds himself in a love triangle with Rachel. Mm-hmm. Who will he choose?
That was a good.
I just made that.
That was a good improvised. Who will he choose? I could tell because you looked right at me when you said that last line.
I stopped reading it, so I was excited about reunites and reignites.
I love that. I was like, yeah, your briefs are so professional, and then you're like 7 minutes in heaven. Am I right? That was a fabulous brief. That would win the boxer.
So we should do
the boxer and the brief.
The boxer and the briefies.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay, we have 2 big storylines here in this one. So
yes.
We've kind of had recently 3 storylines.
Yeah, there's like an ABC. This one was like
strong A, B. But really strong like AA. Like there wasn't, I didn't feel like.
I was invested in both.
I didn't feel one was an A and one was a B line.
They're both very similar.
Yeah. You want to kick us off? Which storyline do you want to cover first?
I think we need to cover mock trial.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
This whole episode opens, Mike's on a bike again.
Yeah, and hauling ass.
Going so fast, and he almost hits Rachel.
I know.
And she spills her coffee. And then, can I just say, it is tense when they are talking.
Super tense.
Because she knows he cheated on the LSATs from the previous episode. Mm-hmm. They're talking so loud, it made me so uncomfortable. I was like, someone could hear you.
I know. They're probably talking for the camera, I guess, right?
Yeah, but like in real life.
In New York or Canada, yeah.
If you were really there. And
you would hear that.
You would hear that. And people are walking into that office. Like, I would be like, please, simmer.
Yeah, simmer down.
Please.
Let's not talk about it here.
Yeah.
Right? Let's have a code word. A couple things to note in this first scene. I think Rachel's hair, it has some nice copper tones to it.
Yeah, she's blonder.
Yeah, like in this particular episode, I can't, confirm or deny moving forward. I also would like to point out a little hiccup here with the filming because love to find the details.
Yeah. Yep.
So they film. So they then go into the pit where like it's blank, right? They're blank. It's empty.
Yeah, no one's there.
Nobody's there, and so the scene is in the elevator, and then there's a scene in the pit. Her hair is fluffier and like freshly curled in the pit, and it's flat in the elevator. So they've just filmed them in reverse. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna get over it.
That's on hair makeup.
It is on hair makeup.
They should have caught that.
Yeah, somebody should have been checking that. Anyways, I think her hair looks great either way. I just wanted to call out in case anybody was worried about the order.
Yes, yeah,
of the pit and the elevator
or like
scene.
A different day, even like something happened there.
Yeah.
Something happened. The pit is empty when they walk in,
right.
And he's like, Mike is like, where is everyone? And she goes, gosh, you don't know anything.
Oh yeah.
She's like, you dumb. Basically.
Yeah.
It's mock trial.
Right, which is fun that it's a mock trial because Gabriel Mock is Harvey Specter. So it's like it could have been called an MACHT trial. Oh, see what I did there? But,
yeah.
But then they would be pulling back the curtain.
Then it would be like, this is too meta.
Too
meta. And this is not a meta show. This is a very
not sponsored by
standard.
Facebook.
Yes. And I love how much Donna comes into this. Yes. First of all, Donna's fabulous in this episode. She's great comedic relief. Yes. We finally get to see a little bit more of her.
Yeah, because it's crazy that we haven't seen that much of her
No,
yet.
she hasn't been in any. She's had like a couple lines here and there, but she's like, this is your debutante ball. Harvey was legendary. You're his protege. Basically, like, get out there. She loves mock trial. She's like, I am a fabulous witness.
I will win this for you.
I will win this.
Yes.
Yeah. And she is so good.
It's kind of like she's the dramatic version of, in real life, a really good expert witness.
Yes.
Who, like, when whatever side of, the trial finds an awesome expert witness, they're like, there is no way that we will lose with this expert witness.
Yeah,
like,
she
they're
is.
such an expert. She's such an expert in acting.
She really embodies the characters. I wrote that it reminded me of Monsters University, and I can't exactly remember why I wrote that.
How long ago did you watch this episode?
2 days ago. 2 days ago?
Well,
3 days ago? Maybe I'll remember why. If you're listening and you're like, oh yeah, obviously that was very Monsters University, I can't remember why.
Okay.
I wrote that down.
I don't know why.
Mike Ross gets pitted against Kyle. Mm-hmm. And
He's a real piece of work.
Real piece of work. Lewis says, it reminds me of you and me to Harvey. So, like, Lewis is very Kyle.
Mike Ross is very Harvey. They wager. I'm so curious what the number is because they're like same number, right? Or same amount for their wager. Like they do this every year. Wonder what it is.
I
We'll never
know.
know. Who knows?
Kyle was the national mock trial champion in high school, college, and law school. And he takes it so serious. He's like, meet my bitch. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
so serious.
He's so obnoxious.
He's so obnoxious, but he's so committed to the bit.
Well, it's like when people say, I hate this actor, I'm like, you don't know them. Like,
Yeah.
you hate the character they're playing,
Right.
which means they're actually a really great actor.
Yeah,
so
and
we don't know Kyle.
He could be a really sweet, genuine,
He might
fun,
be.
but he's like, nah, I'm the prosecuting attorney
Yeah.
in this mock trial. And he is in it, and he is like ready to go. And I think that's great.
Yeah. So Mike is going to be representing the defendant, and then Kyle is representing the plaintiff.
Yes.
Okay.
The plaintiff ends up being Meghan Markle.
Yes.
Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel.
Rachel. She's officially Rachel.
She's Rachel. It's just confusing because Meghan Markle plays Rachel. Rachel is playing the defendant. So it's like,
So Mike he goes to Harvey to get advice, and he's like, don't go to court. You need to go in there. You need to settle, move on, get back to work, right? Mm-hmm. So he goes in, tries to make a settlement. He has a handshake deal.
which comes back later.
We all know what a gentleman's agreement or a handshake deal is. It's like, right? You can't.
Worth nothing.
It's literally worth nothing.
Yeah.
Then Kyle's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flip the script. So Kyle went and prepared and everything. And
Yeah.
then, man.
I thought that was really.
felt like, you know how Mike's face was getting red a little
Yeah,
bit?
you
Like,
could
I
feel
could
it.
feel it. Like, my face, I don't
was-
think it got red, but I could just feel the heat. You know?
I could feel the camera work was great. The acting was great. That was such a good scene because it was like, even when they did the handshake deal, Mike and Kyle was like, how do I know this isn't a trick? And Mike's like, just because you have to trust me. This is going to be so good. But obviously, you don't trust people in a court of law. You don't just do that. You need it in writing. And Jessica Pearson says, no signed argument. You look real dumb. She said, what'd she say? Thinking on your feet. But because he looks super dumb. And then he ends up, like, because he remembers books, he's able to pull something out.
Yes.
Because he's a good book memorizer.
He's a good book memorizer. Well, just like really his mental capacity is just
Incredible.
unbelievable.
He's a fabulous researcher, as Lewis pointed out a few episodes ago. Would be great at it. Jessica says, thinking on your feet, but you wouldn't have to if you hadn't been so naive. That hurts.
Yeah, dang.
That hurts.
Dang. So then he has to like climb his way out of
Yeah,
this,
he's
right?
in a pit.
He really is. He is in the mock trial pit,
Yes.
if you will. But there's nobody there to help him, like there is down in the pit at the law firm, right? When there would only be somebody there.
But nobody's in the pit at the law firm because everyone's at mock trial.
Yeah,
Because everyone loves this. This is like their
This
Super
is
Bowl.
such a big deal. This becomes a defamation suit. So it's like 2 days to prepare. Donna's like, I'm going to help you. She does this whole crying thing. I mean, she's really great.
so
like
good.
to woo him over. And then she's like, you have to find somebody else. You need another witness who will just be sweet and charming and will do anything for you. And so, knock, knock, knock.
It's Jenny.
Are
And
you
I'm so glad.
excited? I know.
I was so glad. Well, first of all, I was glad because I predicted that they would have something.
Okay.
He left her in the dust, but I was like, she's got to come back.
Yeah.
She has to come back. And I thought this was so nice because she reminds Mike who he is.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're like, I thought this was really cute that they're just sitting in her apartment. By the way, really nice apartment.
Very nice apartment.
Oh, what does Jenny do? She's not a marijuana dealer, is she?
I don't know. That's what I was. Well, does she have the money? I don't know. What
It's a nice apartment.
was Trevor living with Jenny?
I
Have
don't-
we seen this apartment before?
No, I don't think so.
It's just like a loft, but
Yeah,
it's very
it's very
nice. She has very nice taste.
And they were eating like yogurt and fruit or something, or
It
ice
was
cream.
so
and fruit. It was
precious.
just really cute.
It was
and just,
so precious.
yeah. And then they get hot and heavy.
Yeah,
There's
they
a little,
do, but
it's a little merging of bodies.
you know what? Okay,
Do you want me to just
I
always
wanna-
call it when people hook up from now on a merging of bodies?
yeah. It was a merger. It was a merger.
It was a body merger.
Yeah, this was more than a gentleman's handshake agreement.
There was a gentlewoman involved too.
I will say, like, it cut from them being so like flirty and fun and like clearly really like each other to Harvey, and we'll get to it, his lady friend, and it was so sterile and serious and suited up. And I was like, here's Mike being his authentic self, and Jenny's the only person who knows it all.
Yeah, because she called it. Like, she's like, you're not being who you are. And so
Yes.
she did remind him who he was.
But
like
she
you
also
said.
she knows all of his secrets, and she's like, still like you. You know, Rachel doesn't know all his secrets.
Right, so she's still on the fence.
No one knows all his secrets except for Jenny. And I thought that was I loved it. And then she becomes the witness, and she's paired paired up against Rachel.
I know.
Could this be more dramatic for Mike?
No, it couldn't. It really couldn't. And it's in a situation where it becomes very real.
Yes.
Because Kyle comes after Jenny, talks her into a corner, and out-litigates her. Obviously, she's not in litigation. She's a witness. But really puts her in a rough spot because I don't think Mike was as focused on preparing Jenny
as he was on undressing Jenny. Merging
bodies.
Yes.
Having a body merger with Jenny. It's such a technical.
He was like,
it's like such a like. I went on a date last night and we had a body merger.
We merged bodies. But that's like Harvey's was very robotic.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
disappointing.
You know what? Well, we're gonna get to it.
We're gonna get to it,
and
we'll
then
get to it.
Rachel is put on the stand.
Yes.
All of this pressure is put on her. He's going after her. Like, he has to go after her. And he's like, it gets to the point where it's about, you couldn't handle the pressure. You couldn't get promoted.
And
she's very like meta, very real, right? Because that whole LSAT thing. And she's like, I can handle it. I can take it. And she's like about to cry. And he excuses himself because he's like, maybe I also love her.
Yeah.
Do you think it's that much?
I don't think it was like, maybe I also love her. Because I don't know. I mean, I think he likes her. I think he doesn't want to make someone, he knows this deep personal thing about her. And he doesn't want to make her cry. Yeah. I don't think Mike is there to tear people's lives apart, especially because he had this issue with mock trial not being real. He's like, this isn't even like a real case. I think if it was a real case and she was a bad person, he would tear her up. Spit her out.
Yeah, because he did that with Kondo.
With Kondo, he did it. But this isn't a real bad person, and she's having real feelings about it.
Okay.
You know?
That's fair. So he maybe doesn't love her. But he doesn't hate her.
He doesn't hate her. I think he likes her and enjoys her company. And I don't think he's like, now I'm with Jenny, and so I'm never going to like you.
They haven't DTR'd.
Yeah, they haven't DTR'd. Defined the relationship.
Okay.
Wait, can I say something gross too?
Yeah.
Kyle said before the trial, he goes, winner gets the girl. And I was like, ugh, gross.
That is gross.
That's so gross.
He's like, I'm not going to ever wager anything with you. It is a real tacky, like
super
it's also
tacky.
Surprising that they said it in 2011. You know?
Yeah. I was like, what is this?
But there's some shows that even from like 10 and 15 years ago just don't really hold up as well. This one does.
This one holds up. But it holds up. And I think even at the time, it would have been like, that's the ick. Yuck.
Yeah. But I think it also, though, drives home the ickiness of Kyle.
Yes. And also the ickiness. Kyle represents what's good about mock trial, what's great about like law firm, Harvard, people who are into doing law to win, like that winner mentality. And Michael's not in law. Like, he's going to try and win, but he's in it for helping people, you know?
I love it.
And for being a smart person.
And then when he's in trouble, he goes to Harvey, and Harvey says, if you get in trouble, don't play the case. Play the man.
Yeah.
Right? Good lawyers worry about facts. Great lawyers worry about their opponents.
But he doesn't play Kyle.
I know.
He doesn't play it. He doesn't play the man.
So what ends up happening in the end is that Mike loses.
Yeah.
Here is another flaw in the script.
Wow.
They say we rule in favor of the defendant, which would make Mike the winner.
No, because this was the defamatory case.
Oh, gosh, this is like statistics with like the null hypothesis and like refuse to reject
the
and all
original
that.
In the original trial, Mike was the defending attorney, but then he countersued. So this was the countersuit.
That's right, you're the countersuit. I literally wrote, "Help me understand." I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like I know which side.
There's
is
only
which.
one defendant. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the flippy floppy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. At the end, Jessica says to him, "Naive and soft, not qualities we're looking for at Pearson Hardman."
Which feels like a little harsh, a little early, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's clearly proven himself in a lot of other ways. In mock trial, you're going to get on to someone about this. To me, I was like, give him a break. This is his coworker.
Cut this non-lawyer some slack.
But it's his coworker up there. It's not a real person, you know?
I know. Look, I get it. I'm just saying
he didn't even want to do it.
Lewis
rigged it so that he would.
Totally rigged it, but she has to be tough. All right. I mean, Jessica has to be tough.
She has to be tough, but she doesn't have to be unfair.
Well, she wasn't fair. She was just making a statement. Like she wasn't making a decision. You know.
That's true. Just seemed a little harsh.
And then old Mike, which is what we will call him now, based on what I'm hearing from your brief, comes into Harvey's office and says, trying to decide what kind of person I want to be, and sometimes I like my kind of person a lot more than I like yours.
And Harvey's like not going to take that.
And Harvey says, want to know what kind of person I am? Tough, but fair. I call it like I see it. And what I see is a kid who asks for an opportunity and still hasn't decided if he wants it or not. I mean, just throws it right back at him, you know?
Yeah, which I just disagree with Harvey on that. I disagree with Harvey on that.
That what?
That
he's
that
tough.
Mike,
he's tough but fair, or that
no,
Mike?
I think he's tough but fair. But I also think in this episode, Harvey makes some pretty big mistakes, right? And he ends up recovering. Mike is in a mock trial situation, and it's not real. Mike has proven himself recovered in 6 previous episodes. He's been able to like figure things out, navigate things, learn from Harvey. I think Mike clearly wants this opportunity. I think Harvey's being, again, a little harsh. I think he's learning from his mentor, Jessica, here, and just being a little bit too harsh.
This is such an interesting take from you, that you think Harvey's being too harsh on Mike instead of Michael, that you would want him to be harder to get him to grow up and get a seat at the grown-up table.
No, but Mike's, to me, I think this is why Mike is Mike this episode for me.
Okay.
Is because in the previous episodes, it felt like Michael was trying to fit into Harvey's suit, trying to get into his skin and his suit, and just like a kid playing around, playing lawyer. In this episode, I feel like Mike finally stands firm, and he was reminded who he is and where he does have this moral compass, even though he's been swayed in lots of different directions. Because he's been pulled from Trevor. Yes. Trevor pulled him one direction. Harvey's pulling him another direction. He needs to stand up and be like, okay, but who am I in this world?
Right.
And make these decisions. Okay. And that's why I was like, this is grown up.
I hear you. I will also argue another side for the sake of being a first year or trying to show you the ropes, actually.
Yes, yeah, please. Because this is my first watch.
I know. The mock trial is a big deal. And and I know it wasn't real. The partners take this just as seriously as everybody else, because it's the single best way outside of effing up something with a client, right?
Yeah.
That they can see how these people are going to perform under pressure.
Yeah. Then you know what, though? The partners should be the witnesses, not the people that are like underlings to the associates.
Then they aren't able to sit back and objectively like view all of it, right? If they're a witness, then they're invested on one side or the other. You might have somebody who's also a budding Donna over there.
But get actor, like if Donna wants to, but Rachel is getting pushed. First of all, she's the paralegal. Everyone depends on her. She has her own office. She's clearly like very, very smart, but then she's being pushed in a way that is crossing a line of workplace safety, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Hire someone else, because that's what happened. Is Michael was like, I have to work with her. Yeah, and I'm trying to, I know. Kyle doesn't have to work with Donna. Kyle doesn't ever have to see Jenny ever again, so he can push them to the point of tears because it's all play.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, the reason that Harvey was like, hey, I don't know if you're taking this seriously, is because
it is a huge deal.
It really is a big deal, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
There is going to be another mock trial in this show.
Wow. Like they do this a lot.
I'm not going to say a lot.
They do it again.
But
and Mike's going to win
This is not the first mock trial you'll see. I can't remember what episode it's in. What season it's in. I think I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
They'll do it again.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy.
This is like
serious
thing. It's like one of those toxic workplace things, but they have to keep doing it because it's tradition.
Yeah, it's like a ceremonial type thing that they do, like something that's like passed down like company lore, but really like even more. This is what you do. You do the mock trial. You don't F it up. Like this is it.
But also everyone's from Harvard. So there's also a standard of they've all probably participated in some mock trials except for Michael, right? Which there is a moment where Lewis looks at Mike in this show. He looks at him, and I couldn't quite place what Lewis is thinking. I was like,
you think Lewis is thinking he knows or something?
Well, I was like, I think he knows something's different about Mike, but I don't know if he's like, what's wrong with him? I need to investigate what's wrong with him. Or if he's like, this is interesting that Harvey's chosen this guy who is so empathetic and weak and not tough or fair, or it's
a lot of behind a look.
I was really I paused it and I was like, what are you thinking, Lewis? Tell me, Lewis, tell me what you're thinking. But he just had the eyes,
Yeah,
I couldn't tell, but because he just won But he didn't have this like, haha, I'm a winner, which seems like what Lewis would do.
Well, we haven't seen enough Lewis to be able to tell.
I know. We need more Lewis, honestly. Need more Lewis.
Next storyline?
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah. Dana Scott.
This is Dana Scott.
Scotty.
Oof. Yeah. Now, when you first saw them, did you think that they were going to merge bodies when you could tell that he was super pissed it was her? Like in that waiting area? Was that what you were thinking?
It was good acting.
It was all of a sudden, they were like throwing these books down on the table in the hotel room. Like, show me this.
Because they're like, oh, no, it's Scotty. I don't like you. Yeah. And then it was like, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
It's definitely,
It went from 0 to 60 very fast. But it also felt like this is what they do all the time. They just derobe.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying between Scotty and Harvey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they're just always
getting derobing, getting naked.
Getting naked. Because we don't just see Harvey without a suit in this episode. We see him without his Henley in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Well, that Henley, I'd rather him put it back on.
We saw his nipples for the first time. We saw Harvey's
Do you know what minute we saw them at?
No. Did you write it down?
No, I didn't. No. What if I did? I was like, I rewound it. It's actually paused behind here. It's my screensaver is Harvey's nipples.
I was surprised. I was like, gosh, here he is, not in a suit. Everything that I thought about Harvey was put on its head in this episode because I thought he was a man who only went to bed in suits. And by I say go to bed, I mean like merge bodies and suits. And then here he is, nipple out. Just letting it all hang out with his old friend Scotty.
Scotty and Harvey have to figure out this merger.
That was a handshake deal between their two clients.
That are both very entrepreneurial, out there just making deals. And Harvey's frustrated, but the guy's like very passionate. I feel that. Like sometimes you just make dumb mistakes as an entrepreneur. So they have to recoup it as like the legal sound, like logical,
right,
voice of reason.
Yes.
Right? The grounded person in an improv scene, I believe we would say. Like the grounded point of view. It ends up that Scotty screws Harvey over.
Yes.
On this deal.
Yeah. Yep. And he doesn't find that out. She comes back to his apartment. They've got everything's signed. Everything's good.
She's coming up that glass elevator.
And she's just like ready to do it. And then he's like, that was the best you've ever been. And then he said,
with body merging.
Yeah, with body merging. That was the best body merger we've ever had.
Yeah.
Which means, what did you do?
Yeah, that was
you
like,
tricked
she's
me.
like that. He was like, that was victory sex. That was victory.
Victory merger.
Victory merger. She's like, yeah, okay, what do you want me to say? She's very like blowing it off. And then all of a sudden she's like, she's so flustered and runs out with his shirt. Not a Henley though. Too bad for her.
No. It looked nice on her though.
Yeah, a nice little like an oversized blue button down.
Yeah, I was like,
really
that
nice.
looks
It's
really
a fun
nice.
look. Yeah, maybe we'll try that sometime. He's upset because he got played by the woman. Mm-hmm.
By the woman. She played the man.
She did. Harvey is talking to Mike about it.
And they're both in casual dress in the office.
Yeah. Which is kind of crazy. It's like late, right?
I was disarmed.
It's kind of nice though. Like, 'cause
it was so nice.
Right?
It was so nice and also so disarming. I was like, this is symbolism, I'm sure.
Of course.
Right? Of course.
Well, because we're seeing him in a way that we've never seen, which explains this next quote where Harvey says, "This is my mistake, and this is Haley's comet. Take a good look because it won't happen again." Mm-hmm. So here comes a question for you, Maggie.
Oh, gosh.
Here's your first question of the night. Are you familiar with what Haley's comet is?
Yes.
Do you want to explain it to the listeners?
Yeah, Haley's comet comes around, like once in a lifetime?
Once every 76 years.
Yes.
So it last appeared in the inner parts of the solar system in 1986, and is set to reappear in mid-2061.
86?
Yeah, that's what it says. So in the inner parts of the solar system, like we probably couldn't see it.
Right? Okay.
But it's set to reappear in mid-2061. So real quick, in mid-2061, how old will you be? Can you ballpark that?
2061, 88, carry that. I'll be like 80s, right? 70?
You'll be in your 70s.
70 something?
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I mean, it says mid-2061.
I swear, I'm so confused. I thought I saw Haley's comet. I thought I saw it once.
Were you not born in 86?
No, I wasn't. Okay. I thought in elementary school. Is there
I can fact check some more. This is just like a quick Google search. Because I thought it didn't come around often. I just didn't know how long.
Yeah.
And it says 76 years. So
dang.
What's interesting. Yeah. So I have a question.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. First of all, do you think that reference
makes sense to anyone?
Well, I think, is he saying this is only going to happen once and you probably won't ever see it again in your lifetime?
Uh-huh.
Or this has happened before and it's happening again in 2061. Like, what do you think he was saying?
I think he was saying this is never, you're never going to see
See this again. All right, so then
Not that 76 years ago.
No.
76 years ago, I made a mistake.
No, I know. So it's taken me a while to actually get to the question. I had to ask you a lot of questions. It's like getting into the innards of not the solar system, but into the question.
Yeah.
Do you have a mistake or a victory that has happened once that you'll never see again?
Oh gosh. That's a great question. Probably all my mistakes I will make again because I am really forgetful and I get real lazy and then I just repeat myself. Like history repeats itself. And so I just kind of always fall back into the same habits. Victories I'll never see again. Probably a lot of them. Probably a lot of victories I'll never see again. I'll probably, I'll be like, oh, that's done. I finished that. And then I'll just walk away,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What do you have?
I wrote the question not long ago.
While we were talking.
While we were talking. No clickety clack over here. Is there a mistake that will never happen again? I mean, you think that it won't ever happen again.
Yeah, but I know myself. I know thyself, and I know I will make the same mistakes over and over again.
I would say early on into grad school, I didn't look at the rubric on some stuff, but like looked at the requirements for an assignment, but then didn't look at the rubric. And if they have a detailed rubric, go through and check off.
Yes.
Have you done? Because all these papers, it's all I ever do is write papers. And I've done that multiple times, like for multiple semesters.
Yeah.
So that is a mistake that I thought I would never do again, but I do it again. As far as victories, I did win $169 on the lottery. I told you this the other night.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's the most I've won in a single sitting. Like, not I was sitting down, but I probably was when I saw the results.
Yeah.
So that's probably a victory that'll never happen again. Hopefully,
Because it'll be bigger.
It'll be so much bigger.
Right. Yeah. The rubric one, I did that in 6th grade. We had to make insect models, and I didn't read the part, like the whole point of the assignment was to make it to scale, and I didn't read that part. I just took it as like an art assignment, and so I just made a really huge daddy long legs, and I was so proud of it, and then I got like a C- because
it's like, did you read the instructions?
I guess I didn't read the whole point.
Yeah, you got to read it all.
Yeah.
You got to read it all. So Scotty wins. Right.
Scotty wins.
She wins, but then they end up negotiating and working out the deal. She kind of has to admit she's wrong, but Harvey's like, it's not all her fault. He tries to sort of cover for her, right?
Right.
And then they go meet at the Harvard Club.
Which she hates.
Apparently,
she's never there.
She hates the Harvard Club. We find out that she has been proposed to a month ago.
Yeah.
This dude, Steven?
Yeah.
Is hanging out.
Just waiting for her reply.
Waiting for how quickly did
London.
How quickly did you say yes to Kyle when he asked you to marry him?
I would say within 30 seconds.
Oh, it took you to think about it?
No, I didn't have to think about it, but getting words out.
Sure. Okay. So it's crazy to me that she has not told this guy in a month. It felt like she was coming over to one to do this, like she had a job, right? She had a gig. At a gig, right?
But she also had a merger.
She also had a body merger. She needed to just see, is this going to be a permanent merger and acquisition of his,
she
cool
took his shirt.
She did acquire that. Are we just, flirting with this idea and it's just not going to ever happen? She decides after that, which is interesting, she's going to say yes to this guy.
Yes.
As they're leaving the Harvard Club, they hug. And Harvey says, I'm sorry I won. And then Scotty says, no, Harvey, I would have hated it if you were sorry about that.
Yes.
And then I have a question for you because of this. Next question.
Yes.
Have you ever apologized for winning something?
Never.
Me either.
Never. What?
Right?
No.
I mean, I try not to gloat.
No. I might say something, those fake apologies where you'd be like, I'm sorry you're hurt by that.
Oh,
that's
like putting it back on
or
them.
like
It's
yeah
awful.
Or like, oh, I'm sorry that you're upset.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, because it's like I feel bad that you're upset, but am I going to apologize for being better than you? No.
I don't think that I've ever had like such a huge grand victory.
No.
Like I haven't won the ultimate best something, or you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Right?
I will say
I've lost so much that like whatever those wins are out there, I can't quite remember them compared to,
Yeah. When Kyle, my husband, your brother, not Kyle, the mock trial
right.
champion from high school, college, law school, when we play Uno,
oh yeah,
we do get pretty competitive. And I
there's
will
a sign
say
in the house.
There is a sign. I'm going to be honest. Right now it says Kyle is the best Uno player in our house. But I know that that's not really true because of how many times we played and I've actually won. He just happened to win
when you were doing a tournament.
And I will say when we play, sometimes I'll win. I'll be like, I'm so sorry that I'm so much better. You have to be a little gloating because it's Uno.
And it's cute.
And it's cute.
It's cute gloating.
It's really like Harvey and Scotty. Cute gloating, cute competitive. But only over Uno, not about anything else in our life,
Okay. That's fair. I mean, that's a good answer, and it's fun, and it's safe, right? It's a safe answer.
Safe answer.
It's not a risky answer.
Yeah, I can't think of what else I would win though. What else do I win that I would gloat? I would never say sorry.
But now you're gonna think about it, and you'll tell me later.
Yeah, I would never gloat. I would never be sorry about winning something.
And then I do have one more question that I probably should have asked in the last storyline.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna ask it now. Donna does like this amazing reenactment. She's so fun. If you were gonna have somebody as great as Donna doing a reenactment of you and play you in your TV movie, who would it be?
I mean, we were just talking about before we started recording what a fabulous actor you are.
Oh, thank you so much.
So fabulous.
Thank you.
You're just so good. And I forget because you just commit to a bit so well, and I should know this about you. But then sometimes I'll be like, wait, is she acting or is this real? And I think that's the only type of person I could have play me.
You want me to play you?
I think you should play me.
But then I have to pick somebody else to play your husband. My brother.
I'll play you. You play me.
Oh, okay. That's super fun.
Okay. It'd be great.
Well, that one time for my birthday party where you had everybody dress up like
you.
Like me.
I thought that was
it was such a great idea. Whatever version of Amanda And so there was people from different lives,
Yes.
not different lives, but just different times in my life dressed as me. And you ordered a wig. We have to post this on Insta. You ordered a wig and a hat. You looked so much like me.
I looked so much like you that your father posted a picture of me on National Daughter's Day, thinking it was you.
Yes. Despite her hair, literally, my dad thought his own daughter was his daughter-in-law. Because if you look at it so quickly, you would never be like, oh, they look alike.
Right.
If you really look at it, you're like,
uh-oh. Oh, they do look. Yeah, they look alike.
They look alike. My dad doesn't have any other daughters, so.
Yeah, so that was why I was like, I took a screenshot and I was like,
you sent it to me too.
This is the best thing I've ever seen.
I know. I hope you still have it.
I know. I gotta find it.
That's great.
I don't know if he ever edited it. I gotta go check. I'll just go check his profile.
It's so great.
Yeah.
It's such a great thing. Well, I guess I should then say you should play me.
I will play you. You will play me.
Okay, yeah. Well, then I'll have to answer the question. We just have it answered right there.
You just need a blonde wig, and I'll wear a brunette wig, and then we'll just do a Freaky Friday switch.
It's an easy thing to do.
Easy thing.
We know enough about each other, right? That we could do. Yeah, we know our mannerisms and stuff like that.
Right. I'll be like, oh yeah, my podcast, Only Suits fans.
Yeah, and I would also say my podcast, Only Suits fans. So I want to hear predictions.
Oh yes. Okay.
Do you have predictions?
Yes.
We're on the last half of this.
I know.
Of this season, and we will before the season finale of season 1. We'll do a quick recap of all of Maggie's predictions, so we can see how many of them are going to come true. By,
oh my god.
Yeah, by the end of season 1. I'm keeping track of them.
Oh, this makes me so excited.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, anybody can be keeping track of them because it's on the podcast.
I guess I could also keep track of them.
Yeah.
But this could be. I have to remember, don't say sorry if you win. Don't say sorry if you win,
Okay.
I have a couple questions that I want to just put out there for myself for reference.
Oh, okay.
What did Lewis see? Is it that Michael is not Harvey? Did Lewis beat Harvey back in the day? There's something about this mock trial that I need to know more about.
Okay.
And I had that question before. You said that I'll see another one eventually. But there's something I need to know what the scenario was with Harvey and Lewis. And then I also need to know what it is that he's looking at in Michael. I think it might just be that something's off. So I think, again, adding to my theory that Lewis is going to dive deeper into Mike. Jenny and Mike are going to continue to develop right alongside Rachel and Mike, because at the end, Rachel says to Mike,
ever wonder why I'm so hard on you? It's because I expect more from you. And then he says, why? And Rachel says, you're a smart guy. You can figure it out.
Yeah, she clearly wants to merge her.
Yeah, she wants to consider
But I think she more wants to merge her now that she's seen him with Jenny.
Oh, yeah. Man.
That's the thing about this law firm is things are getting twisted. Like, you walk in those doors and everything's gets spiraled out of control. And that's why I like Jenny for Mike, because she keeps him grounded in a pure, innocent way. Speaking of, is Grammy dead? Where is she? Why have we not seen Grammy?
Are you asking me, or are you just saying it out into the...
This is a crisis. I'm asking, where is she?
Okay.
Is she about... Are we going to see a funeral?
You want me to answer that question?
No, these are questions that I have, but something is up with Grammy.
Okay.
We have not seen her. We have not heard from her. There's been no mention of it. Mike has not gone to see her or visit her or share any of this journey with her. He's so wrapped up in the law firm. She was the reason why he had to get this job at the law firm.
Right.
Grammy's gone.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen. Something's happening with Grammy, and Mike has no idea, and I don't either. So I need to see what's happening.
So these are all questions.
They're questions, but my prediction is we're gonna, by the season finale, I don't know, Grammy's flatlined, Grammy's whatever, some crisis with Grammy.
Okay, so you're predicting that by the end of this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had this wondering, Harvey. When I was watching this, I was like, what happened to that Bang lady from episode 1?
Bang Lady from episode 1.
Because I was really like, oh, she's the one that got away. And now I'm like, oh, but here's another one that got away. And then I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Where is Bang Lady?
Okay, so are you predicting?
I'm thinking Bang Lady. I feel like she needs to come back if we're seeing all these like lovers from the past or like people that Harvey is interested in. I feel like I need to see her again.
Okay.
By the end of the season.
Okay.
And then I think Trevor's going to be real mad when the news of Jenny and Mike makes its way to Montana. He's going to come back.
By end of season 1, you think? Mm-hmm. Okay. Those are a lot of predictions.
I think it's going to heat up.
Yeah.
Things are going to start moving
real
fast. It's
well, I
getting
feel like
spirally.
they kind of are, though. Like, they're really setting the stage for a lot of possible...
Lots of twists and turns.
And spirals. And
a lot of cliffhangers.
Yeah.
You know? I think there's going to be a lot of like, uh-oh. Like at the season finale, I think is going to be a lot of like, yikes. Mm-hmm. Right. Yowzers.
I feel very happy to see how like invested you are.
No, I'm 3-piece
You're
invested.
You're 3-piece invested because I knew you would like it and get into it, but I was like, what if she actually hates this show?
I don't know.
But like you're really into it, and I do appreciate all the predictions and the thoughtfulness, and you're trying to stay away from spoilers and everything. So
I'm trying so hard,
which is really great. I'm excited that you're more excited, and I do like that you're texting more about it because that means you're not just like, woof.
I gotta watch
Suits, right?
No,
and I'm like, woof! I get to watch Suits again.
I also do like though that, and I'm curious to see how our thoughts merger, not like body merger, our thought merger. As I watch more, like if I'll start to think about the characters more the way you think about them, or if.
Well, maybe.
Or if it's like different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. I mean, there are times throughout, because now that this is my 3rd time and like rewatching it again through the lens of I have to pause, take notes, look at the time, and like think about like really write down quotes and stuff. I have very strong feelings about all of the cast members. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I get irritated with them and then sometimes I'm not. And I feel like as I'm rewatching it, those same feelings are still the same. So it's like it had the initial reaction the first time I watched it, solidified it in round 2, and now I'm just taking notes and really soaking it in.
You're like getting more evidence for your case against or for those people.
Yeah, because there's sometimes I'm like, man, F that. Like, that was not cool. Or like, absolutely, that person deserved it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I guess this is where I leave you. Except that you'll leave me because this is my house.
Yes. I have a shout out, Amanda.
Okay, great. Let's hear it.
So for those listeners who listen on Spotify, it automatically uploads, what did you think about this episode? As a question.
Oh, okay. So people are answering it.
And we had 2 people answer that question.
Okay, let's hear it.
They said, great episode! Exclamation point. And so much fun.
Okay.
Or something along those lines. Those people were Randy Austin.
My dad, your father-in-law?
My father-in-law. And Barb Reith, which is my mother, your mother outlaw.
Mother outlaw. Yeah.
But it's so good to have supportive parents.
It is.
In this day and age.
They're also the people who told us about dime bags.
Yes, they're really part of the podcast, I would say.
My mom gave us a review just at dinner.
Yes.
And she said, will you always be talking about other things? I thought it was just a Suits podcast. You tend to go off track. And I explained to her, well, yes, we just kind of organically talk, and as things come up, we'll explore those, but we will continue to talk about Suits. So I think she was thinking it was very much
just Suits.
And
not just
any of our, banter. And then my father did say, I'd be hard pressed to listen to that podcast if it wasn't my daughter's because it's so long. And I explained that he said it shouldn't be longer than the show, which ours is usually right around the length of the show.
Yeah, but I think that's normal.
He does love the show, as noted on Spotify.
Yes,
It's just, I think he's looking for something like a little quick fix of Suits.
Right. Which will not be this podcast, Randy, but please continue to
keep
listen.
listening. We need your support.
We do have 8 ratings on Apple.
Oh, great.
As of the time of recording, and one review that says, it's like sitting in my living room hanging out with my 2 smartest, most hilarious friends.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's so nice. So thank you for those reviews. More reviews are great. They help us find new people. And so would love more reviews on Apple and Spotify.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you for our next episode.